And that's when the policeman realised I wasn't Chinese. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Yes, hello and welcome back to Radio Rufus, the antithesis of mediocrity in the history of serialised media. As always, the eloquent, debonair Rufus Rice, who also happens to be me, is joined by my rough and ready-to-go, roughhousing Irish producer, Aidan. Say hello, Aidan.
Hello.
Coming up this week, we've got the latest and greatest news, sports, games, tunes from around the world, though some of the scoops might not be quite as hot off the presses as you might imagine, because as always, we are breaststroking through the untapped blue-ass water of our 1960s studio. Absolutely lovely environment to be in. We're going to have to start today on a bit of a different note, because I have something to say to the people. I'm addressing the allegations. I'm coming out and I am apologising for what has happened. Last week was our first real argument on this show about whether you get free snacks on short-haul EasyJet flights. I was violently defending that you do, having had it happen to me just last week. And Aidan, the voice of reason, was saying that you don't. I've now realised my mistake. I flew BA last week. And that is why.
Not EasyJet.
Not EasyJet. That was my mistake. I flew BA, the premium experience, and as such, I got a free 250ml bottle of water and bag of peanuts alongside the 50% increase in ticket price. That is my mistake, and I'm sorry.
Thank you. I saw another side of you last week that I didn't really like, but I appreciate the apology.
So I hope that sort of clears the air and we can just move on. Hope everybody's okay. Alright, on to not news then. These are the headlines this week. A Harry Styles stalker has been jailed for sending him 8,000 greetings cards in 1 month. A man has his Tesco club card QR code tattooed on his arm. A man using a shopping trolley as a barbecue and a sword as a skewer arrested on Santa Monica Beach. And a US pastor who said natural disasters are God's punishment for homosexuality gets his house flooded. Let's get into it then with our first story. A Harry Styles stalker has been jailed for sending him 8,000 greeting cards in 1 month. Mira Carvalho appeared at Harrow Crown Court last week and was ultimately sentenced to 14 weeks imprisonment after pleading guilty on Tuesday to a charge of stalking involving serious alarm or distress. In less than 1 month, she single-handedly kept Royal Mail financially afloat. As well as Clinton's cards, actually. You know Clinton's cards?
I do.
You see them fucking everywhere. Who's sending cards?
Literally just her.
Apart from Granny's and her. And I absolutely convinced that Clinton's cards, on a side note, is money laundering.
There's so many companies like that just you never see anyone enter.
They're like the American Sweets of the cards market.
Yeah. ShoeZone as well. How the
ShoeZone.
fuck is ShoeZone still a thing?
Well, at least that I can sort of understand, because people actually buy shoes, whereas I don't buy fucking cards because I'm a bad person and I send emails.
Yeah. Plus, last minute ones you just get in fucking Tesco. You're not going to like a...
There's no need
shop.
for a speciality
Nah.
shop for that. They've got like 130 branches of Clinton's cards. They're everywhere. They're in every shopping centre. Yeah. I know. Clinton's, we're digging into you. Maybe we'll have a story in a few weeks. It'll be like Clinton's cards... corporate greed cover up. It'd be like the Enron scandal for stationery.
Yeah, we'll maybe get my fat man to check it out and report back, see if he can find any dirt.
Of course. Okay, right. So, in less than a month, she single-handedly kept Royal Mail financially afloat after sending the Zesty singer over 8,000 cards. Prosecutors established that some were wedding cards, and 2 letters were actually hand-delivered.
That's where it gets a bit weird.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the hand delivery.
Whenever they're getting to your house, the fact that she knows his address is a bit mental.
Yeah. I don't blame her for some of them being wedding cards, though, because I think if you're sending that many cards, like, you're just going to the card aisle in Tesco and just cleaning it out. Like, some of them are going to be like, happy 5th birthday.
Yeah, there's going to be...
There's not enough cards that are just normal.
Yeah, like get well soon.
Get well soon.
Christmas cards.
Sorry,
she needs to fucking get well soon.
Heard about your operation. Love from Mira.
Do you reckon she's actually writing on every one of these cards as well, like personalised notes? Or it's just sending them for the sake of sending them? Yeah.
I think she might do what I do at Christmas and write the same message in all of them, so I don't have to think about it. Like, I just decide, thank you for the present.
That is a smart move.
I'll get one again next year, but I don't know you.
I once had my granny send me into the shop to get myself a birthday card from her. And whenever I go back to
the ultimate lady present.
Whenever I go back to her house, I was like, it was set in the. Actually, funny, we were on about it earlier. It was set in a bag with a bottle of milk and a block of mint Viennetta.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, right, is she going to write this card or something? She took the card out, set it in front of me, and asked me to write my own card. I was thinking, you are a lazy bitch.
That's rough from Granny as well, because usually grandmas are supposed to be like really nice and caring. I would expect that from like my dad.
Yeah. No, she generally is lovely, but just, I don't know, she wasn't feeling it that week.
Yeah, it's like going Christmas shopping with my dad when I was a kid and walk around and he's like, what do you want? You pick it.
Yeah.
I can't be fucked.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, just get what you want. It's all right.
I would have been happy with that.
Oh yeah, no, it was made for a good Christmas because you weren't let down.
Yeah, but there was no real emotion connected to it.
I mean, I wasn't a big surprise on Christmas Day. He would like wrap it and put it under the tree as well.
From what age?
I don't know. You know, in the sort of early teenage years.
Yeah,
maybe.
I thought you were saying whenever you were like 5, 6, 7. I was about to say that's a bit rough.
That's a bit rough. Yeah, no. When you get a bit older.
Yeah.
And it would still be wrapped and put under the tree. But I'd bought it like 4 days ago.
Yeah. You're like lifting it up being like, I wonder what this is.
And now I've spent 4 days knowing I have something I really want and I can't use it. It's absolutely
that is annoying. I've had that a few times where
Yeah.
I've known there's something like sitting under the tree that I really want to use now but have to wait till Christmas Day.
such an inefficient allocation of time. Like, I know it's Christmas, but surely we can just get this over with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we can just celebrate on the day.
Just skip the pleasantries and get straight into whatever it is.
Yeah, no more foreplay. Let's just raw dog.
I'm sure saying that at the family Christmas dinner would go down tremendously.
Anyway, yeah. So I don't blame her for it being wedding cards. I'm sure he'll have got every card in the book. So,
Yeah.
like, new baby,
Christenings, confirmations.
congratulations on the dog. Sorry to hear about your loss, probably. Funeral cards.
A few like condolences ones.
Yeah, condolences. Yeah, nice. And as I like to do, I like to pull people up on the maths on this show.
You've crunched the numbers.
8,000 cards is a lot, especially since it's in 1 month. Let's say that's 30 days. That's 266 cards a day. Right?
Yeah.
Also, cards, I've checked, they're not the cheapest thing in the world. They're about £3.49 for a card.
Oh fuck.
So that's £28,000 worth of cards in 1 month. Who's paying for
That's a salary for a lot of people.
Oh, that's way more than a salary. Think about that. The annualized return on that is 28 times 24, which I can't really do very well in my head, but it's a lot of money.
Oh shit.
That's 1 month.
This was what I thought you meant a year.
No,
20 grand.
20K in 1 month. Yeah. It's like 12 times the minimum wage salary. Yeah.
That is fucking mental.
Who's paying for this shit? That's why I know. Who's actually? How did she actually purchase all these cars? Unless she's just a thief.
Yeah. I saw an article that she was living out of like a backpacker hostel. So the fact that she's living in some shithole accommodation while spending 28 grand a month on Hallmark cards, she maybe needs to reevaluate her priorities a bit.
Yeah, that's the first thing. She, interestingly enough, she's not English.
Right.
So Carvalho, you know, I doubt she's related to the Portuguese footballer.
That was my first thought.
But she's definitely not English. She's actually a Brazilian national. So she'd been staying in a backpacker hostel while stalking the bloke.
Yeah.
And her family didn't know that she was in the UK. So she's gone rogue. She's run away from home.
Yeah.
Gone on one hell of a gap year. ended up in a boarding house in the UK somewhere, sending Harry Styles 266 cards every day.
Yeah, I suppose if you're going to be going away to do a bit of stalking, you're probably not going to be in a hurry to tell your family about it. It's not as if you're going interrailing or something. You're not going to be sending photos back.
No, like El Chapo's granddaughter.
Yeah.
I thought for a bit this might be El Chapo's granddaughter, because she would definitely have the money to do this.
It would make sense.
Yeah, everything just adds up logically to me there. But but yeah, this is absolutely crazy. In the end, she's been given a 10-year restraining order, which is rough because she clearly loves the bloke quite a lot.
Bit harsh, Harry.
She can never attend another Harry Styles gig.
Yeah.
Not even in the seats.
I'd happily just take that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, this punishment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone ever gets any ideas and tries to invite me to one.
Yeah. We'd both like a 10-year restraining order from Harry Styles. Can you go to court and get a punishment for nothing?
I don't think you can, but I could definitely think of a few things I could do to earn it.
Should we send him a note?
Send him a card.
Yeah. Yeah, so she was also ordered to pay 134 quid, which, to be fair, that's water off a camel's back at this point. Like, that is, she's already, like, sunk cost fallacy. She's already 28 grand deep. I doubt the 134 is going to put
She probably spent that in envelopes for the cards.
Oh, that's the thing. Well, usually they come with an envelope.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, but they don't always. So we haven't factored in the additional cost here.
Also, the pens has a lot of ink to be using.
True, she must have gone through a few biros. And
£134, I don't think would even get you a ticket to one of his concerts.
No, definitely
They're like
not.
really expensive, aren't they?
I think he should be pushing for a bit more here.
Yeah.
He should be a bit more ambitious, Harry. You need some more money.
Yeah, you could do with it.
Is there anyone like I can't imagine loving something this much. Like anything. Like I like my family a lot, but I don't even send them cards on their birthdays normally.
Nah.
I can't imagine sending 8,000 cards.
I understand liking a certain artist or a certain band, like I get that, but whenever it starts to get to like stan territory, that's when it gets a bit weird.
Soon as you've got more than one t-shirt, I think you need to start.
Yeah. Anyone with a dedicated Twitter account to anything, like football teams, celebrities, just get a fucking life.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember that bit, Jay from The Inbetweeners, where he writes himself all those cards on Valentine's Day and then reads them out? This is sort of reminiscent of this.
Do you reckon Harry's doing this for attention?
I don't think that one person can actually physically send 8,000 cards in 1 month. That's so many cards. Like, that's going to occupy your whole day anyway, writing 266 cards.
Yeah.
So I think this might be a bit of a self-report.
Could be.
I reckon he's just trying to show off a
bit.
So look how popular I am, mate. I've got stalkers. It's like that famous Noel Gallagher quote.
What's that?
How do I feel? I've got 86 million quid in the bank.
Yeah.
I've got a stalker. Something else. And I'm not happy. It's not enough.
I want more.
I want more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want 8,000. 8,000 cards now seems like a small amount, you know. I think he could shoot a bit higher as well.
It's funny that is it 14 weeks she got in jail?
14 weeks.
She'll have more time than ever to write cards and she can't do it. That's bound to be heartbreaking.
It's true, actually. Also, that's like rough for the family as well. Surely they'd want to see their daughter.
I mean, they didn't even know where she was at, so I don't think they care too much.
Yeah, probably don't give a shit. I had a mate do an awesome prank on me once. Involving cards. So it was Valentine's at school, and they had that thing. I'm not sure if they had it at your school, but you could write sort of Valentine's note to somebody. And there were lots, you know, school couples. They were very sweet. You know, and I got one year, and I was a massive virgin at school, so it was a bit of a surprise. And I got one, and I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh, this is," and it's just from your secret lover or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck, is this from?" And they were like quite intimate details that like I wouldn't have told that many people about. And I was like,
this was an inside job?
It booked me out for weeks. I was like, who the fuck sent this to me? And nobody opened up to it. And my mate told me last year that it was him.
He kept that.
This happened when I was 16.
Chest for fucking what, like 5-6 years? That was
mental. He quite literally kept that card fucking close to his chest. Yeah. It's a great prank though, because I was psyched out.
You're probably still thinking about it occasionally, like, who was that? What could have been?
Yeah, because I was just like, I was it's like walking through the assembly hall, like looking at every girl, because I didn't think it was from a bloke. It was quite girly handwriting as well. I think he pulled it off. He might have got his sister to write it. And I was looking at every girl. I was like,
was it you?
Who was it? Like, who's my secret like lusty bird? Like, in this hall somewhere. Like, there's somebody out there who's been thirsting after me.
That is fucking mental warfare. That warrants a jail sentence more than this woman writing cards.
It's definitely worse for your psyche. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, moving on. A man has gotten his Tesco club card QR code tattooed on his arm. Now we head over to Chav Corner, where a tradie from Devon has permanently inked his Tesco club card code on his skin after being frustrated about forgetting it all the time. 31-year-old Dean Mayhew from Bideford got the tat after growing tired about not being able to take advantage of the supermarket's offers. So he got the tattoo last July, and since then, since getting it, he has collected a whopping £18 in points.
£18 in a year.
£18. Which, I don't know how much tattoos are, but it's got to be more than 18 quid.
That tattoo, even at a shithole tattoo parlour, is at least 40 to 60 quid, so he's got another 2 years to just break even.
Absolutely ridiculous. He shops there twice daily as well.
He must just be going in for like a meal deal, because surely if you're doing proper shops, you're getting more than 18 quid in vouchers.
Here's the thing though, I have a club card, right? It's such a scam.
Oh, absolutely.
They
just hike everything up.
It's such a scam. And like the points you get back, right? I thought, oh, so what will I get, you know? If I spend 10 quid, what will I get back in points, right? Every pound you spend is a pence back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So in order to get £18 in points, you have to spend 1,800 quid.
Surely that is mental if that's the case.
No, I'm serious. Like I've been shopping at Tesco for over a year now.
Yeah.
And I think I'm honestly scraping about 8 quid.
Yeah. I worked at Tesco for like 2 years and I didn't even know that. Well, we got like 15% on top of the club card, which is good.
Right.
He reckons the reason he got the club card is the reason he got the QR code tattoo is because he always forgot his club card. But he also went on to say that he has to keep shaving his arm so it doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
Surely using like even the slightest bit of brain power and thinking, you know what, maybe I'll grab my club card whenever you're going to the shop is a smarter move than having to fucking remember to shave your arm every time you leave.
Yeah, because what if you just... It's not something I regularly think about, shaving my arm.
I know.
Yeah.
Surely it's easier to forget that than it is to... You have a club card in the back of your phone and a wallet, whatever, like you're going to bring that
also,
with you shopping.
It's in the fucking app.
Yeah.
It's in the fucking app. What are you going to do? Forget your phone? No, you're not going to do that. So you can't forget it. It's not possible. You're not going to forget both your wallet and your phone.
Yeah.
And this is the third backup option. That's just ridiculous.
If you forget that, you need to go home anyway because you've none to pay with.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you forget it? I don't understand. How do you not have it?
See some of the fucking threats I got whenever I worked in Tesco and they raised the meal deal prices. You'd have swore I was the man behind it. Like they went from £3 to £3.50, and people would be like coming up with them literally the day after it happened, so they hadn't heard. And I'd be like, "Oh, it's £3.50, please." And they'd look at me as if I was trying to like pocket the extra 50p. I was like, I can't do anything about this.
You were raising prices and skipping the 50p.
That was like it was the most fucking junkie riddled Tesco in a really dodgy part of Belfast. There's a few things that happened. There's like a junkie woman that came in one time trying to refund a donut, and whenever I asked her where it was, she told me she already had it. It's like, what the fuck do you want me to do with that? Then you
can't refund a donut.
You can't refund something that's already at.
Yeah.
I guess like
yeah.
You eat your meal deal, you come back with an empty bottle and sandwich. You can't just get a refund.
Can you refund like a whole donut if it was just intact? No, right?
She tried to claim that it was out of date, but then I was like, right, if you realise it was out of date, why did you eat it?
Yeah.
And she also didn't have a receipt. So she had fucking nothing going for her case.
Wait, so hang on, this is just a woman.
She was a bit fucked, like she was off her tits and something.
But there was no evidence of the donut.
There was no evidence that she even purchased the donut.
Sometimes you just got to respect the hustle. It's like when people shoot me Instagram messages offering me stuff, and it's like, look, even if you were my best mate, I would say no to that, let alone a random person, but I respect the hustle.
But see, like, a donut in Tesco, a singular donut is like 60p. Yeah. Surely if she's going to try and stage something, do it for like one of the 8 quid magazines or something.
Yeah, you got to shoot for the stars.
Yeah. So basically it was like my first week in the shop, and there was a fella that was put out by the security for attempting to shoplift.
Yeah.
And he literally sat outside the shop all day just kind of hovering around. We were thinking like, what's this lunatic doing? He waited for the security guard to go on his break, and then he came in and took a shit in the middle of the magazine aisle and left again, just because he got put out for shoplifting. There's also someone that came in and he was just doing his shopping as normal. He had like the basket in his left hand, but he was walking around the shop, with a hatchet in the other.
Yeah,
He didn't
that's
threaten
crazy.
anyone. He didn't do anything. He was just like, I was thinking, why the fuck have you got that hatchet?
Maybe he's a logger. Maybe he's a lumberjack. Could be.
Maybe fucking, what is it, holster it whenever you're going for your shopping.
I saw a homeless man try and nick a rack of ribs once, like a whole rack of ribs under his jacket, and I was like, the first thought that popped into my mind was, does he have the equipment to cook that properly?
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
I've never seen a sort of homeless man chilling with a George Foreman, just out and about. And then I realised, oh no, he's gonna trade it for drugs. That's why he's stealing it.
Yeah.
Because it's worth a lot of money. So there we go. There's our homeless
Segment.
homeless segment. It was almost weekly, the homeless segment now.
Yeah, it does come up a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, so this guy, right? What's hilarious is he didn't know it was going to work before he got the tattoo. Because, like, how are you going to check?
Surely take the stencil to the Tesco, scan it, see if it works.
I'm not sure you could really tell if it was going to work on the skin,
Yeah.
So-
I'm almost 100% sure I've read about someone that tried this before and it didn't work, and they were fucking fuming.
It's got to be a relief for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a quote from him. Sometimes when I go in there, the cashier doesn't believe it's real. I have to tell them, just scan it, please, and they're shocked. Yeah, no shit, because this is weird as fuck, and this is not it's not normal human behaviour. His plan for his next tattoo is to get his Nectar card for when he shops at Sainsbury's.
Someone really needs to sit him down and say, you're spending over 100 quid on tattoos for club cards that won't save you that much in 5 years.
No, he's running he's negative at the moment. He's in the red at the moment from this tat. It's so mental. It's like people who will drive 10 miles to save 50p.
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't save any money.
You spent it to get
You
there.
spent it to get there, you moron. So yeah, hilarious. Troy, I advise, if anyone does this, I think people should do this and send in the photos, and then we can showcase them
Yeah.
on the show. Yeah, absolutely. So if you do this, please let us know. One thing I'd love to do with my tattoos. I mean, I would never get tattoos because I think they're hideous.
Yeah.
And I think over time they never stay quite as good as they were.
Nah.
So like, I couldn't live with that, and I can't make a decision that's that permanent.
Yeah, I get you.
And they don't fit my vibe. Let's be real.
So many of mine have faded, even a slight bit, but it's still annoying.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have
But one
to get them
thing I
popped
would
up.
get is I would turn myself into a human billboard. Like, I often wear this pair of Ray-Ban shades, right?
Yeah.
But instead of I'd get them tatted with a Ray-Ban logo in return for money.
Yeah.
So I walk around, or like I take my watch off and I have Omega on my wrist.
Yeah, I get
That
it.
sort of thing.
You know, like teams in the French league that just sell like the sleeves and everything for advertising space.
Yeah. I'd be like that.
Yeah.
I'd walk around. I'd look like a NASCAR.
Just with tattoos.
Everything going on. Yeah, exactly. Big, like sort of Toblerone across the chest.
What would be the dream one? Would it be Toblerone, or have you got something higher?
Greg's would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Just the four squares.
I thought you meant just like a sausage roll the length of your forearm or something.
That looks like then I'm advertising for sausage rolls in particular.
Yeah.
So
Didn't
do
think
do
that
that
through.
sometimes. I was in Canada last Christmas and they were advertising on the TV eggs.
Any sort of
Eggs.
brand?
No, eggs. It was the government advertising for people to eat eggs.
I don't know if this is a thing over here, but back in Ireland, there's obviously a lot of farms and stuff around the area I grew up in.
Yeah.
There's egg vending machines where people can just go and put their eggs in.
There's not much variety in there.
Just literally it is helpful if you're stuck for eggs and everywhere's closed.
Should I A1 or A1 or D3? But they're all the same egg.
Yeah, it's just like a farm or something will get their eggs for the day, stick them in a vending machine, people come over, buy it. It's an easy way of selling them, but
Surely they're gonna crack when they hit the bottom.
oh no, it's not necessarily.
Has it got the arm?
Yeah, it's like one of those type setups.
Does it do it one by one?
No, it's just the
Can you
whole
get a
box. Yeah.
That's quite a good idea, actually. I'm not gonna roast that, despite the fact it's rubbish and Irish. Our next story then. From one food-related thing to another, a man using a shopping trolley as a barbecue and a sword as a skewer has been arrested on Santa Monica Beach. Over to our newly minted segment, American Unintelligence. once again, where a rogue chef parading up and down the beach walk in Los Angeles has been apprehended by the LAPD after chefing up a bit of rogue scran. At 3 p.m. on Sunday, an unidentified man was filmed dragging a shopping cart filled with flaming wood through a bike lane. A chair is balanced over the blaze, upon which rests a meat-covered Excalibur. Occasionally, he stops to re-stoke the flames with a bit of Bud Light. I think we have some images just to illustrate this story. And if you're an audio listener, how does it feel to be subhuman? And also, you can go over to our video version on YouTube and see what we're seeing.
Sword to roast meat in a shopping cart. The video coming to us from Citizen app. Police say that they got a call about a person with an open flame in a shopping cart on Ocean Boulevard near the pier.
He's just in the road as well. This guy has no regard for the law. I love it.
We take the piss, but this man might just be genius. Like, he's operating.
I don't know. The police don't think
existence.
he's that genius, judging by this shot.
He's being arrested for it, but he's basically made like a mobile barbecue.
I wasn't aware that this was illegal.
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever thought to write a law against this.
It's one of those things where surely it doesn't say that that's illegal, so
How can you be arrested for it?
how can you be arrested for it?
I think it's the fact that it's a sword. Also, another question: where the fuck do you even get a sword?
Yeah, that's true.
Is it? I know in like films and Game of Thrones, it's passed down through families, but I don't think that's working this way for this homeless fella.
I have a big... I don't trust anybody who owns a sword.
That is very fair.
I don't think anyone needs a sword for any reason.
I know like fucking nerds collect them from like certain, like say a Game of Thrones sword or something, people have it, but they're not like replicas. Some of them you could kill a fucker with it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get how they're sold in the first place.
Anyone? I can't take anyone seriously who actually owns a sword.
Yeah.
You have no need for a sword in our modern world.
Where do you even bring it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, unless it's for a fucking barbecue with this
I
fella.
guess, yeah, this guy bosses the cookout, but... nobody should ever own a sword.
Yeah.
And people, the worst is people who have swords mounted on their wall, like they're proud of the sword.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a rusty old thing in the garage. It's like...
It is pride
it's
of place above the
their sword.
mantelpiece.
Like, they sort of have a bit of a sexual relationship with their sword. Not that, like, they shove the sword up their arse, but, like, they sort of love it a bit too much. Like, they're friends with their sword.
It does get a bit strange after a while.
Gets a bit weird.
It gets strange the second you buy one.
Yeah, I will never buy a sword. I have no need. I know, big statement there.
Yeah.
I am Rufus Rice going on record here to saying I'm never buying a sword. Anyway, so his technique is interesting here. So obviously you got the shopping trolley.
Yeah.
You've got the flaming wood inside, and then the sword is balanced on a chair, which looks to be made of plastic.
It does.
I'm a bit concerned about some contamination potential there. A few chemicals leaching over. Also, I'm not sure, burning plastic. And I'm not a Jamie Oliver, but I think it might affect the flavour profile of the meat a little bit.
You would imagine
Resting
so, yeah.
on a melting chair. But I don't know, up to this guy. So he's done a little bit of barbecue sauce on that meat, and then he pours Bud Light on the flames, which I would assume would immediately put them out. But apparently the alcohol burns it a bit, and that adds another sort of a hint of char to the outside. It's like a beer battered cod.
I think if any drink I'm going to be pouring over like meat, it's not going to be Bud Light.
No?
There's a few I'd have ahead of it.
Lucozade orange juice.
Lucozade Original.
Lucozade original. Yeah.
Goat.
The thing is though, like, we laugh at this guy, but if Heston did this,
Yeah.
we'd be applauding him for pushing the boundaries of culinary excellence.
This is exactly what I was saying whenever we were reacting to it. Like, he's getting arrested for this, but it's almost ingenious.
Almost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it though. I wouldn't be thrilled. I wouldn't be having a hot dog from that.
If there was no chair, if there's no plastic chair, I'd consider it. But like,
The thing is, I think you need the chair for stability. But also, there's a fundamental problem here in that I think a lot of heat is escaping out of that trolley. Like, barbecue works because you can close the lid and it's an enclosed space, and also those bits get really hot. But I feel like a lot of the heat might be escaping. I'd worry that anything I would have off that would be underdone.
Yeah, you definitely need to cut into the chicken a bit before trying it.
Oh yeah, I've been checking that for sure because it looks brown and cooked, but I think that's just because he's rubbed it with whatever.
God knows.
God knows what.
Surely with inventions throughout history, though, the second someone's like sort of breaking any sort of boundary, people are looking at them thinking, what the fuck are they doing?
I wouldn't be totally against, like, we'd have to do this outside, I think. I don't think it's an inside experiment, but sort of recreating this for our show. It's not a hugely expensive thing to do.
We could set up like a trolley barbecue sort of food tent at the Gravy Wrestling Championships.
Oh yeah, because then you could just grab our sausages and sort of just dunk them in.
Yeah. Mid fight.
Very hygienic. We're gonna stick true to the original recipe and include the chair as well. I think. But yeah, eventually a police cruiser pulled over and arrested the grill master himself. He faces misdemeanor charges of theft because he stole a shopping trolley.
Yeah.
Reckless burning. I don't know. I don't feel like that was that reckless. And resisting arrest, which I think is fair enough because he's a freedom fighter. But he will not face a weapons charge, as he was, quote, using the sword as a skewer, not a weapon.
Yeah, but if someone's cooking a fucking egg on a warm day on a like an MP40,
yeah,
they still have a fucking MP40. Surely carrying that in public warrants the charge.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you're using it for, it's the potential of what you could be using it for.
No, it's not an M4A1 Colt, it's a knife. It's how I break up my food. Can you get away with anything with that? It's not a nuclear warhead. It's a plate. If I eat my lunch off it, it's not a weapon. It's quite good, actually.
It's not a Ninja Star, it's a pizza cutter.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would actually be rubbish as a pizza cutter. You'd end up, it would be like a dotted line.
Yeah, true.
It's not consistent.
You have to go over it from a few different angles.
Yeah, unless you sort of just hang it up and then just...
That would be pretty cool.
Ping it through. Maybe we should try that as well.
You know, like all those fancy restaurants where they're doing all the weird shit with food? That would impress me if someone whipped out a Ninja Star.
There's a restaurant where the whole concept is you eat it blind. Like, they blindfold you. They don't blind you, they blindfold you. That would be rough. And it's so you don't sort of judge the food with your eyes before you eat it. This is like the biggest load of wanky bollocks I heard. I hate that sort of thing. It's like when those fancy restaurants where it's mostly foam food. Just like, can I just have some scran, please?
Also, a part of the thrill is actually just seeing like a well cooked steak or seeing a well presented meal that you're like, oh, you know what? I take that back. I don't give a fuck about what way it's presented as long as it tastes nice.
Yeah, I don't want the full like Andrea Bocelli experience.
Yeah. See, whenever you always see it in like any sort of chef show where they'll put the tiniest bit of food on a plate and then put some fucking random sauce around it. You shouldn't be able to see the plate. You know what I mean? There should be enough food in it that you don't have fucking access real estate to draw a picture with some sauce.
Do you think? Is that the rule?
That's my rule, yeah.
My big hate is when they make a deconstructed pudding.
I don't even know what that is.
Like, they take all the elements. So they make an apple crumble, right?
Right.
But all the elements are separate.
So you just have to build it yourself?
Well, you just sort of mix it around on the plate.
I remember one time I went for... It was literally just some random cafe back home and I ordered a cheeseburger with literally just onions and lettuce or something. They passed me out the cheeseburger with a plate with lettuce, onions, and cheese on the side. I was like,
build it yourself.
I didn't pay to fucking construct this thing.
An IKEA burger.
Yeah,
They're giving you a flat pack burger. Yeah.
Like I'm paying you to make it.
Yeah.
Like the next step would have had me in fucking frying the thing.
It's like salt your own crisps. You know those?
I don't, but it sounds ridiculous.
Unsalted crisp, but it comes with a packet of salt in the bag.
What is the point?
And the idea is you can sort of salt it
to your liking.
To your liking.
You know what? I actually see that.
I think the main thing you realise from eating those is it's better with no salt on it.
Yeah, it just poisons it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how this guy's culinary career develops. I heard Michelin is considering him for a star. But we'll yet to see. He'll have to strike out on his own and start his own restaurant. I'd happily go to his place in London.
Would support that.
Yeah. Anyway, next story then. A US pastor who said natural disasters are God's punishment for homosexuals gets his house flooded. It's just classic. As soon as I saw this headline, I was like, this is straight in the show.
Yeah.
Tony Perkins, a vicar from Louisiana, once stated that extreme weather events such as Hurricane Joaquin, which hit Hawaii in 2015, was a sign of God's wrath for gays and abortions. He said that storms... So, you know how storms have been getting worse and worse over the years?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to do with climate change, apparently. It's because more and more countries are legalising gay marriage, according to this guy.
I'm not sure I see the correlation that he does
I mean, there's definitely a correlation.
between the amount of gays and the amount of floods.
The amount of gay people getting married and the how bad storms are getting.
Right.
There's definitely a
I
correlation.
don't see a causation.
There's no causation. Yeah. But I mean, he's not objectively. He can't be proven wrong about it. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with him, but I can't say that he's actually wrong.
Yeah.
That being said, on Saturday he had to escape his house by canoe after it flooded under 10 feet of water.
That is fucking poetic justice.
His house and cars have been ruined. First question, what are you up to, Tony? If he's right,
Yeah.
he must be doing some gay stuff.
That is a good point. Do you reckon this is a classic case of like a heavily homophobic person being a bit zesty themselves?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of heavily homophobic politicians. They want to keep gay marriage illegal because then it feels a bit dirtier when they do it.
Yeah, they like the thrill of it.
They like the thrill.
Doing something they shouldn't be.
Yeah. It's like all politicians, you know, they love cocaine, you know, they love prostitutes, all this sort of stuff. Stories come out about this sort of stuff all the time, right?
Yeah.
But if you made it legal, it just wouldn't be fun anymore.
So they're campaigning against it just to keep their sort of...
It's like how smoking cigarettes when you were at school was much more fun than doing it these days. Because it was
the
rebellious.
thrill of getting caught.
Yeah, man.
No matter like how backward your views are though, how do you come to that conclusion? Like, do you reckon he's just sitting, looking out his window and there's a bit of rain and he's like, oh, it's the fucking gays at it again?
Yeah, it's a tough one to connect. I don't know. Also, is Hawaii like... Does the storm go where the gays go? Or is it just general? Or is God not that targeted? Is he just
I don't
punishing
think
all
so,
of
because
humanity?
there's usually, you see the odd time good weather for gay pride. So surely if...
That being said, so obviously I live in Brighton, and for Pride last year, there was genuinely a massive, the biggest storm of the year last year was during Pride, and there was the parades, like all the people with their sort of floats and stuff, you know, and everyone was ponchoed up, obviously, and I was like, this is if it's true, which I don't believe in, like this is proof that God hates homosexuals, because the weather was absolutely miserable. It was the worst weather day of the year on Pride last year.
maybe the pastor's onto something.
So maybe he's got a point. I can't believe I'm just agreeing with it. I mean, sounds pretty reasonable. This guy. The more and more we go through it, everyone's starting to agree.
I have a statement about pride.
It's going Kyle.
I don't actually think it will be, but bear with me, right?
Right.
All for it. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Get with what you want. Be with who you want. But just do it in a field somewhere. Like the
Okay.
parades. Don't take up a fucking road. Same for like St. Patrick's Day. Same for any sort of event.
So this is actually not about Pride. It's about parades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But pride just happens to be
One of the parades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what it is. Like
It's the
even-
same marathon. Fuck off.
Yeah. Do it
Mate,
somewhere.
just do it
that's
in the
not-
do it- yeah.
If you're gonna, especially ones that go on for like a few days or a weekend, it just completely interrupts.
They
everyone
always
else.
go past my fucking house.
Yeah.
It's always on the route for the fucking Brighton Marathon.
Yeah.
And I can't cross the road.
Just run around a field.
Yeah.
Go on a treadmill.
Just do laps. Do sprints.
Yeah.
There and back. Yeah. I'm with you there. Anyway, I'm also interested because he had to escape his house by canoe because his cars have been flooded, right? I would be so fucked in this situation because once I get into the canoe, right, then what's the game plan?
Especially if it's all pretty equally flooded.
Well, I assume like floods, like they don't go up and down, like it floods to a level, right?
Yeah.
So do you
You're just waiting until it drops.
in the canoe? Do you go somewhere?
I feel like you'd be trying to find somewhere that maybe brings you onto a hill or something.
Find some high ground, I guess.
Yeah.
And then what? I mean, it's still going to be pretty miserable. You're just going to be rained on the high ground. Do you canoe? Do you canoe round the mate's house, pick up the mates, get them in the canoe.
Having a bit of company will be key here, I think.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it's just you're the gay one. If you've got mates around, at least you can push the blame onto somebody else.
Yeah, or someone to shag.
You just in that canoe going like, who stuck their finger up their arse last night? Come on, I know it was one of you. I know it was one of you, fucks. Yeah. Anyway, hope you're doing well, Tony. Hope your house dries up a bit. Anyway, on to our sports segment then. Snatch of the day coming at you now, and it's a tantalising prospect shaping up for this year's Cooper's Hill Cheese Rolling and Wake, which returns on the 27th of May in Gloucester. I'm sure we've all heard about this before. The famous yearly tradition involves a race down 180 metres of steep English hillside after a 4-kilogram round of Gloucester cheese. That is what they are chasing. I have to say, I respect this sport a lot. It's like toe wrestling. Like, this is a proper sport that demands blood, sweat, tears. It's a lot of injuries that happen every year. Okay, fantastic. We've got a little clip. I think everyone will be thrilled to hear we've just secured the highlights. We've got the broadcast rights for the highlights, so here we go.
It is fucking carnage, Rufus. The little control they have over where they're going as soon as they take that first step down that hill is mental.
Is it a contact sport? Like, could you take people out, do you think?
I don't think you really have a choice in it.
No, that's to be fair.
I wouldn't be worried about going over my ankle down the hill or something. I'd be worried about getting absolutely fucking nailed by a fellow airborne contestant.
Yeah, exactly.
But surely we've seen...
I feel like the groundsman needs to be... He needs to have some questions asked to him here, because he hasn't done a particularly good job of keeping the pitch.
I think that's part of it, though. I think...
Oh, do you think it's deliberately, like, he just fucks it up?
But surely we have seen 20 broken bones in this 1 minute we've looked at this. Like,
oh, yeah, I mean, this is absolutely...
Every one of them's an ankle breaker. That fucker's shoulder's gone.
Violently.
And all this for a wheel of cheese.
That's the thing I was going to say is, I don't even fucking want the wheel.
Yeah. Another thing doing it for the thrill, I suppose.
Well, I think you do it for the glory.
Yeah.
But, like, as soon as I get home, that cheese is going straight in the bin.
Yeah, it's not as if you can display it either. Fucking 2 weeks out on the shelf, that's
2 weeks of
horrible.
dirty cheese. Yeah, it's just horrible.
And if you really want a wheel of cheese so bad, go to fucking Tesco and buy one.
Yeah.
Just remember your club card.
So you can get a non-existent discount on it. Yeah. So the Canadian competitor Delaney Irving won last year's women's race.
Yeah.
But she actually ended up unconscious at the end. And she only learned of her victory in the medical tent afterwards.
Jesus.
I guess she must have just sort of landed on the cheese at the bottom and just... I mean, it does look like an absolute brick, to be fair.
Yeah. It's probably what fucking put her unconscious.
I tell you what, you know it'll be a great event?
What's this?
In the Colombian Highlands, get a load of people to do this, roll a brick of cocaine down the... get them to chase after it. There'll be some people who really want to fucking win that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what Colombian gets a white nose first.
We can get a member from every cartel. Maybe it can be like the cartel games.
But surely they just show up at the top of the hill and just fucking kneecap a couple of them.
I think having a blown kneecap would help you in this.
Yeah, you'd have less say, which I think the more you just give in and let your body fucking do the work and flail down the hill.
It's an intuitive sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely like a natural thing.
Definitely. Like, actually it is, because my favourite to win this year is actually this bloke here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the 23-time champion.
Oh my god.
Chris Anderson.
If
They do have 2 races a year, I will say that.
Okay.
But still, there are some years where he just walks away with 2 cheeses. Like, now you're taking the piss.
The fact that he's been doing it for what, like at least 10, 11 years, and he doesn't look that old.
No, so he's a soldier.
Right.
So and this is what he does on his days off.
Suppose you need to recapture the thrill somehow.
Yeah. So he is quoted, this is a quote from him as to how to win.
Yeah.
Because he's such a champion. The secret to winning the cheese rolling is to stay on your feet and not fall over. Thanks, Chris. Cheers for that, mate.
I think my move...
I also think he's wrong.
He just didn't do that.
Yeah, he objectively wrong.
I think my move would be at the top. I don't think I'd sprint. I think I'd go for one of those like dive and rolls. and see what
Just a
happens.
little swan dive.
Yeah. And
Let
just,
the mountain take you.
I might just get a fucking mouthful of muck.
I
but
don't think you have a chance, really. I think you have to be light. I think you have to be really light.
Yeah.
You're too stocky, I reckon.
You need to be a bit more nimble for it.
Yeah, like this guy's, he's a skinny bloke. He's in shape.
Yeah, I reckon I could probably throw Matt down the hill and he could probably get the cheese before it even hits the bottom.
Editor Matt has a good chance of winning this.
Yeah, he's built for it.
I'm really not built for this. Well, I once I once got a cramp having a wank, so
I once got a cramp just sort of getting myself ready for a wank.
just psyching yourself out. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm really bit cut out.
Another thing that you said a minute ago, a Canadian came over and won this.
Yeah.
What the fuck's the crack with that? They done the same with the toe wrestling.
Yeah.
They can't just let the Brits
They're
have
stealing
something.
our events.
Yeah, just stick to the fucking hockey.
Mate, so I think this was another thing that like Gloucester people came up with. It was like, this could be our sport.
Yeah.
Gloucester's going to dominate
To
this.
finally be good
In
at
recent
something.
years, they've had like Croatians, Swiss people, German people. Our next segment then, moving on to the weather report. This is Drizzle Kicks. We return once again to the Middle East to provide an update on the wet and wild Situacionano Ronaldo in Dubai. Have they managed to get rid of the water? No. No, they haven't. I've got a theory that maybe they were just, you know how there's not much rain in Dubai ever, really. Maybe they were saving it up. You ever saved up your pocket money
Yeah.
and then bought a big thing?
There is a, what is it called?
They were like, oh, can I have all the rain now? They broke the piggy bank.
Rainy day fund.
Yeah, a rainy
This
day.
is exactly what they done.
Yeah, exactly. That's a theory. I think that maybe the sheikh was he was putting it off. He was saying like, no, sorry, I don't want rain. I don't want
Not
rain.
this week.
Yeah, not this week. I can't face it. And then the gods were like, yeah, okay, right, we'll bank it though. Like, it's gonna come back at some point. You can't just do this forever. And it just got too much from there. Like,
You reckon he's just bribing the weatherman? Like, here, fucking keep the rain away.
yeah, or he's up to some gay stuff.
No. Well, for the years before that, though, maybe he just discovered the
Yeah,
gayness.
very haram, I have
Yeah.
to say. So I'm not insinuating anything about the ruling party of Dubai there whatsoever. Interestingly enough, we actually have a reporter. We've sent a reporter out to Dubai who can give us an update on the situation now. Let's hear that. Thank you for that then. Now, because everybody who lives there is a Deliveroo merchant, as you might imagine, lots of people don't have any food at home. So, and some people have frozen food, but there's no electricity to cook it. So I think this might be a little bit of a trolley barbecue situation. Come on, whack out the sword.
He would make so much fucking
Get
money.
the
at
sword
minute.
out. Case of Bud Light. Let's have a party. Yeah, exactly. Also, 3 more people have died. I originally reported the death toll was 1. Just one unlucky bloke who literally got washed out to sea.
At least he's not the only one now, though. That was a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, so 4 people have now died, as well as 21 in Oman, but nobody cares about them. Genuinely, it was hard to find in the news that also 21 people have died in Oman. Literally nobody gives a fuck, which is funny. Anyway, they haven't really managed to clear the water. A lot of roads are still flooded. I think this is a prime opportunity. The Sheikh, mate, if you're watching this, this is your opportunity to rebrand Dubai as the Venice of the Middle East. And it just becomes a canal city.
I'd sooner be tempted to jump on a flight to Dubai if they were running with that, like, sort of.
Exactly. And now you don't even have to bother draining any of it. Everyone can just travel around in that vicar's canoe.
Whenever I heard about the death toll increasing, I'd done a bit of research and tried to basically find ways that could help you in, like, a flooded situation.
Yeah.
So if anyone's maybe watching this from, like, the rooftop of a partially submerged car, for example.
Or the bottom of the Marianas Trench, maybe.
If they can get signal down there.
Yeah.
So basically, how to get rid of a flood. There's 3 like main
Okay,
points.
I would like to volunteer one. Drink all the water. That would be my first.
That's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
Apparently, towels and cloths can absorb water.
I've heard that. I know about that. Yeah.
Making use of air conditioning or a dehumidifier can help get the water out as quickly as possible.
I'll be real. If I'm a flooded room versus an air conditioner, I know who I'm taking there.
Yeah.
I'm siding with the water. I'm not sure that's a great tip.
Maybe the third one will sort of sway back in the direction of success. Buy a really big sponge. That was the Google results.
That was the Google results.
Yeah.
Use a towel.
Get a dehumidifier.
Yeah. You might as well just try and stop it with a napkin, mate. It's absolutely pointless. A sponge.
A big sponge. A really big sponge.
Yeah, maybe that's their problem. The sponge wasn't big enough.
Yeah, could have been. Or
So
someone stepped on it.
If you're still listening, the Sheikh of Dubai, whoever you are, get a big sponge, I guess. Bigger sponge.
Bigger sponge.
Even bigger sponge. And if that doesn't work, even bigger sponge. Fantastic stuff. So that's the weather then. Now we move on to Gamey Schumer, and once again we continue in our long-standing tradition of playing games that are extremely unsuitable for audio format. So all my listeners out there, I just have to apologise for this one before we start. We're going to play Ring Toss today with a special forfeit. Whoever loses Ring Toss will do the next episode in drag. You'd look good in makeup, I think.
You reckon?
You've got womanly features.
Which ones? the full face of
yeah, your
beard?
beard. Yeah, your beard. Yeah. So let's get it going. It's a lot at stake this round. So let's go.
It was one of those ones that I suggested and instantly regretted.
Oh yeah. Well, here we go then. 5 points for the outside, and then 10 points if you land it on the red cock in the middle. If any of the other coloured cocks, 5 points. And it's 5 throws each. Yeah. Right. Let's get into this.
You're not going to start us off?
I'll go first. I haven't really played ring toss in a long time.
It sounds so sexual.
Yeah, ring toss sounds like eating arse, doesn't it?
It
ring
does
toss.
a bit, yeah.
Went back around to my mate's house and played a bit of ring toss. Yeah. Okay, that's a good
5.
start. I'm happy to be on the board.
Yeah. You dickhead, 15.
Get in there. He's a true sportsman.
20.
It's looking rough. It's looking rough. I'm happy with 20 points.
20 to beat.
20 points is pretty good.
Right, let's retrieve the rings. Considering, do I just try and get them on the board, or do I go for red?
I think it's just. I think you got to shoot for the stars.
Yeah, I do. I'm up against it.
Yeah. That was close.
No! I need to hit red twice to even it.
The trajectory of that was ludicrous.
Did you aim, or did you just...
You threw it at the bottom of the bottom of the schlong.
Ah, it's impossible. Do you want to do a double or nothing? If I hit red right now, we both do drag next episode.
Yeah, right. Yeah, cool.
Right. We're getting in the makeup chair.
I think we should have done a different forfeit.
What's the forfeit you had in mind?
Whoever loses sits on the one in the middle. Anyway, so I've won the ring toss. It feels good because I'm usually quite shit at all games, but I felt in my element there. I was dialed in.
I feel as though my reputation as a sportsman has really took a hit there.
After your glorious dodgeball victory, it's gone downhill a bit. But so we will be both wearing drag. So that's going to be interesting next episode. Tune in if you want to see that and subscribe. We're trying to get to 15k subs. So if you could smash that, and we'll be wearing some makeup next time around.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a word from our producer. Yes, that is me. And I'm here to tell you that we get quoted 200 quid to do the drag makeup, so not happening. Back to Rufus.
Anyway, on to our next segment then. This is Questionable. This is where I poll the audience with an intriguing, insightful question, and we give out the best responses. I've asked people this week, what is your most impressive achievement? What is the greatest thing you've ever accomplished, and why was it so good? As usual with my audience, so you can question the validity of some of these responses. We'll see as we go how legitimate some of these are. First one is, I ran the length of Africa a few years ago.
Sounds about right, yeah. Believable.
Pretty legit. I got to day 7 of Destroy Dick December.
Of Destroy Dick's December?
Do you know about Destroy Dick December?
It's just a lot of wanks in December.
Oh, do you not know?
No.
Oh. Matt, do you know? Destroy Dick December. Yeah, it's incredible. So, after you have No Nut November.
Yeah.
A whole month where you're just storing up the nut. Like the...
Then you're releasing it?
Yeah. It's like the flood in Dubai after that. You're just storing it up. There's no rain for ages, and then suddenly it all comes at once.
Yeah.
Right? Destroy Dick December is another challenge where you have 1 wank on the 1st of December, and then 2 on day 2, 3 on day 2. So, like, by the time you get to Christmas Day, you're having 25 merry wanks.
It's like an advent calendar for wanks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You've got to look behind the door. The back door. It's prostate tickler. Anyway, so the thing is, it gets consistently harder because, like, once you get to day 5, you've had 4 wanks the day before, and then you have 5, and then once you get to day 6,
You've none left in the chamber.
exactly. You don't have any spunk. You don't have any willpower. And you probably don't have any skin left on your cock.
Yeah, it would just be
after that.
fucking raw.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy getting to day 7 is pretty impressive.
How many wanks is that?
Triangular numbers, isn't it? So it's
You carry the 1.
28.
Right.
28 wanks in
That's a
7
lot of
days.
wanks.
It's an average of 4. I attempted this one year.
How many days did you get in?
I got to day 6 and had no wanks on day 6. It was one of the most clutch performances of my life. It might actually be my greatest achievement. But on day 5, 11:57 p.m. busting that final nut to get to day 6.
Buzzer beater.
Oh mate, it was a heart stopper, showstopper, shot clock special. It was awesome.
Did you hear like the fucking air horn go off as you?
The air horns went off in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because I genuinely thought I'm under so much. It was genuinely a pressure scenario.
Because then you have like limited time to find the right video to.
Yeah. I'm coming to the end of the exam and I still got a whole page left to fill in.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real pressure scenario. But I did get to day 6 before, but this guy has beaten me by getting to day 7. I think that's pretty impressive.
Fair play to him.
Also, like when you get through the challenge, it gets harder and harder to actually physically do it.
Has anyone ever completed this to your
I
knowledge?
doubt it. Like,
Yeah.
imagine like being at family Christmas and trying to have 25 wanks on Christmas Day after having previously had 24 on Christmas Eve. I mean, it's pretty tough. Boxing
All
Day.
those days just kind of merge into one as well.
Yeah. So you'd have to do nothing else because you have to average more than 1 an hour without sleeping. after that.
Yeah.
So
And you would need a tally chart to keep track of them.
yeah, you would lose count, to be fair. Anyway, next one. I tried to high five a blind man in a pizza shop.
Believe that.
After waiting a moment longer than it would usually take, I said, "Come on, mate, don't leave me hanging." He then looked at me and said, "Oh, sorry, I'm blind," and proceeded to wave around until our hands met. Big question for this one. Is that an achievement?
It would be an achievement for the blind person if he managed to locate the hand,
Yes.
but not for him.
It doesn't necessarily fulfill the brief.
Nah.
I don't think. Anyway, why did you try to high five him anyway? Do you high five random people? I don't even high five. I don't high five anybody because I think it's weird and American, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm a more of a dap guy,
Yeah, sort of like a handshake.
handshake guy, fist bump guy, dap guy. I'm not high fiving anybody. I think that's so cringe, and I think high fiving should be illegal.
I hate that. This is something I've really discovered is big over here, but like we'd be going for like work drinks or something on a Thursday night or a Wednesday night, whatever day it is.
Yeah,
And whenever I like to do like an Irish goodbye. I like to maybe go to the toilet, go for
of
a
course
pint,
you do, but
and never fucking. You know what I mean? though. Like
yeah.
I don't
it's in
like
your, it's in
making
your
a,
blood, really.
yeah, making a fuss about when you're leaving isn't in my DNA. People here will like hug you goodbye.
Yeah, of
And-
course. Yeah.
They're seeing you tomorrow morning. What the fuck's the point?
Yeah, all right. Cheers, pal. Cheers, nice one, pal. Yeah, see ya, pal. See ya tomorrow. Yeah, like that.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. It's my impression of like a northerner saying goodbye at a party. That was my impression of a northerner walking out of a shop after buying something. Actually,
Pretty spot on
Yeah.
impression.
I think actually, like the posher you are, the worse this problem is.
Mm.
Because there's so many hugs and kisses. Like, goodbye, darling. Goodbye, darling.
Yeah.
I'm gone. Let me see you again.
Like, and I get,
Maybe that's just the circles I'm running around with. But
yeah, maybe they say it as like a respect thing, but I am not going round a table with 10 to 15 people and shaking each other's hands, high fiving them, fist bumping them, hugging them, just so I can leave. And
Yeah.
that's what happens over here. Like, I don't
Fair
know,
enough.
if it's the same in your circles, but
No, I love a spectacular goodbye.
do you? You like to make a fuss?
Oh yeah, yeah. And then or like the total disappearance is really nice.
Mm.
Like not even. I guess an Irish goodbye is a total disappearance, but like nobody will have even noticed that I've gone anywhere, and then suddenly I've vanished.
Yeah.
That's awesome as well. You're like Jack the Ripper. You're like, just vanished into the night.
No record of you.
No record. Next one. I ran a marathon in under 2 hours.
What actually is the record for that, I wonder?
About 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 1 minute. 2
2
hours.
minutes?
2 hours, 1 minute, I think. A marathon. No one's ever run a marathon in under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not even Kipchoge.
There's maybe like a hint of lies about this then, do you reckon?
Or I don't know. It has to be officially timed to be a record. So maybe this guy just sort of did it on a weekend.
Have you looked at his Instagram to see whether he looks like an athlete?
No, it's got an anime profile picture.
He hasn't ran that fucking
No, I doubted it as well. I have to agree. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
But I can't say for sure it's false. Maybe he
Leave
loved
it up to
running.
the audience's interpretation.
Next one, getting circumcised and then not pooing for 2 weeks afterwards. Are these connected?
Doesn't feel like there's a correlation at all.
Not really. Also, once again, is that an achievement? Is not having a shit... Is getting circumcised an achievement?
Maybe in like certain communities, but I don't think you should be celebrating the mutilation of a cock.
And also, like, hardcore chronic anal retention there. Holding in that dump for 2 weeks. How do you even do that? That's a more impressive half of this.
Yeah, it's more impressive than the 2-hour marathon.
What, the 2 week no poo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The willpower you have to show to keep that fucking contained.
Or the severe constipation you have to be suffering from.
Yeah. I understand sometimes if you're in a situation where you just can't go, holding it for that bit longer, it means the release and the relief is even better and you enjoy it that bit more. But 2 weeks is taking
I do know what you mean. I've edged a piss before.
I don't know if you've ever done... Yeah, well, I suppose a piss, it just... You're holding it in, you're building it up, but I'm more talking about a shit.
The water's coming up behind the dam. It's like cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Just waiting for that cherry to land before it all goes. Next one. This guy has written, I'm still proud of the absolute balls this took. I laughed when my ex told me her dad died. You're just a horrible person.
For this to be excusable at all, the dad would have needed to be like a fucking paedophile or something.
Yeah, or the ex needs to be a paedophile.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to be a paedophile in this situation for this to be excusable. Yeah, you're just an objectively a bad person. It's just really bad, really terrible. It's really, really, really horrible. Also, not an achievement. Next one. I'm 17 and I pulled a girl who's at uni. Mate, you are a victim. I'm afraid you're not a legend. You have
been groomed.
You are the victim of grooming and various crimes, unfortunately. I know, that's the thing though, like, if you're at school and you shag a teacher, you are forever a legend.
Yeah.
Yet you are also
A victim.
Yeah. So it's a tough one to see sort of where you're like, because when I was at school, obviously, if I had shagged a teacher, like, I would have been up for that. Because then I'd go down in the history of the school as an absolute hero.
Yeah.
And yet I'm also... I feel like it would come back to haunt me later. I have some, like, trauma about that.
Down the line, you sort of start to piece things together and be like, fuck, I was massively taken advantage of.
Yeah, I guess so. So, can look forward to those years, mate. have a fun life. Anyway, next one. I gave a kidney to my friend. This is a really... You won't be surprised to you that a woman sent this in, because this actually has a note of empathy involved in it, which generally my fan base doesn't deal with. Gave a kidney to my friend. I would just point this one out because maybe I'm a bad person. I'm not giving a kidney to fucking anybody for no reason. No fucking way.
Someone really close to me would have to be properly on death's door for me to even consider it. Yeah. I don't even know if I need both of them. No, you only need one. Humans only need one. Yeah, but even in that case, I'm still maybe...
Oh yeah, I'm not doing it either. Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to point that out. That if any of my family are listening, sorry. It's nothing I can do. Next one. I became national ping pong champion at the age of just 14. I started playing after a terrible hip injury that sidelined me for a year. This is where I totally believe that. But I start to question it when you said you playing with a hip injury.
Yeah, there's a lot of hip thrusting and ping pong.
It's one of the main hip sports.
That's like every fucking swing you're using your
So
hip.
I'm starting to disbelieve this. This next sentence sort of puts it out of contention for me. Some people actually thought I was of Chinese heritage due to my natural ability with the pedal. Is that the least believable claim we've ever had sent in?
It's definitely up there, yeah.
Up there. Have to say, this guy is white as shit. I did look at his profile. He's not even one of those. Sometimes, occasionally you get a white person, and you're like, oh, he could be a bit Chinese. An eighth, maybe.
Yeah.
Might have a Chinese grandma.
No Chinese in this
No
person
chance.
at all.
Absolutely no chance. Next one. I moved to Wuhan. It's another Chinese themed one there. Is that an achievement? Also, when did you move? Hopefully it's not recently.
If it was 2020 times, there'd be big questions raised.
Big questions raised. No other context was given with that. Literally, that's what I got. I moved to Wuhan. This one's really impressive. I think this might actually be genuinely the best achievement here. I managed to break a Nokia phone.
Jesus.
Awesome. It was his grandpa's Nokia phone and he broke it.
That would take like a fucking extinction level event to take out the average 30.
You need to be hit by an asteroid, yeah.
Yeah. The fact that I'm pretty sure, was it my uncle or my like cousin or something had one that they found that was just like in the bottom of a cupboard or something, and they hadn't used it since whenever that was. It must have been like early 2000s. It was still in charge.
Yeah. I had to buy one recently. I'm not trapping or anything. I'm not like I don't sell drugs, but I had to buy one recently for a YouTube video, and the guy in the shop was so suspicious. He's like, "What do you need this for?"
Yeah.
Because I had my other phone as well.
Why do they even still sell them though?
What? Do you think they should be made illegal? Because it's only like grannies who don't really need them and druggies
Yeah.
that use them, right?
And also, we were talking about like having weapons on you earlier. That can be classified as a weapon. You get hit
it's
with
lethal.
Nokia 3310, you're going down.
Yeah, I tried to buy one, and the guy was like, "What are you using this for?" I was like, "Oh, it's for a YouTube video," and he's like, "Yeah, sure it is." I was like, "No, it is." He's like, "I hear that all the time."
That's a common like excuse.
I was like, "Yeah, but at the end of the day, he has to sell it to me. He can't like."
Even if you said like, "Oh, dealing drugs," what's he gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Next one. I rowed across the Atlantic in a kayak with 3 naked blokes. Started to believe it. Fell off very quickly towards the end.
Yeah.
Why you got to be naked? Surely be a bit gold.
Maybe they're going. Where was that? Where was the place the pastor was at?
Oh, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And
going to
just
his house.
escaping there.
Yeah. That's what the kayak's for. They don't even need to get out of it. They can go straight to Louisiana.
And it would also explain why they're naked.
Yeah, perfect. Last one. I beat a dolphin in an arm wrestle. Did you?
Highly doubt it.
Do they have arms? Is that an arm? That thing?
Is it a fin?
Also, you definitely lose. I feel like they're fucking lethal, those things.
Yeah.
Like, imagine one of those coming down on your arm. Tom Garrett.
He'd be fucked.
He'd be fucked.
If Theo Baker can do that to him,
yeah, imagine a dolphin.
take it out of its
They're
socket.
pretty big. They're pretty hardcore.
They're also like famous rapists.
Sorry?
Dolphins.
Dolphins are famous rapists.
Yeah.
Is that a scientific fact?
100%. Dolphins love to rape
Other dolphins.
humans.
Is there any animal? What's like the biggest animal you could take in an arm wrestle?
Silverback.
Really?
Maybe like a bitch silverback. Like the runt of the litter.
Okay, a small gorilla.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still feel like that'd be a tough time.
What about like a malnourished silverback?
I'd like to build my confidence up on some weak shit to start off with.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to work my way up through the sort of tiers, to be honest, up to the silverback.
The reality is even like a shit monkey would absolutely hand any average man their ass to them in an arm wrestle.
Why is that? Why are humans so shit at arm wrestling then?
I don't know. Well, I suppose monkeys are fucking flinging themselves from trees and stuff day to day, so...
It's like Tarzan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think anything without an opposable thumb is going to be shit. Like your sheep, I'm going to just tear that right off. But as soon as we get into like the jungle,
Yeah.
now I'm out of my element there. It's an away game. I'm not really settled for the fixture. The monkey's just in its element there. There's loads of other monkeys around. supporting.
No, like, potential split decisions are going to go your way either.
No. The very biased panel of judges there. I went on a monkey watching trip once in Indonesia. and with my little sister, who was like sort of 8 or 9 at the time.
Yeah.
And genuinely, I've never seen so much shagging in my entire life.
Monkeys just flat out at it.
I think it was like when my sister sort of found out about sex. Because like you start questioning things once you see the monkeys getting ploughed.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a monkey shag, but I'm intrigued.
Interestingly, they do it in doggy. Always doggy.
That's their go-to position.
Always doggy. Yeah, exactly. Oh. Oh. Wow. Thank you so much. That is huge news. Thank you. Well, guess what? Mafatma's been a busy boy, because I've just had something come down the wire once again from our American correspondent, Mafatma Gandhi. He's been a very, very busy jizzhound recently, so maybe we should be giving him a promotion. Reward him maybe by allowing him to leave America and reassign him somewhere else. And nonetheless, anyway, this is today's news. Today, of course, being July the 20th, 1969. The North Atlantic Sperm Alliance, or NASA for short, has today declared the successful landing of 3 astronauts on the moon as part of the Apollo 11 mission. The 3 men involved are the cyclist Lance Armstrong, the beekeeper Buzz Aldrin, and the Australian cricket legend Michael Clarke. Terrestrial TV are reportedly very happy with the viewing figures, because about 600 million people watched it, which is decent for early on a Monday morning. Incredible news.
Good viewing figures.
Good viewing figures. I mean, it's a special program. It doesn't come around every week, I guess. But yeah, 3 blokes on the moon. Apparently, they planted a flag while they were up there and brought back 20 kilos of rocks for some nerds to have a look at. And it's apparently this is like a big sort of media sensation, this whole thing. Don't know how I've missed it, really.
I never heard tell of it until now.
No, they've kept that very quiet.
Yeah.
Nobody's even mentioned going to space before. That's just crazy. As part of a sort of promotional support trip, the astronauts plan on visiting 22 countries as part of like a worldwide sort of club tour thing. They're going to Ibiza, Koh Samui, Cancun, and Prism Kingston as well. So that should be good. I think it's good for them to blow off some steam. This looks quite sort of stressful, this job. Have to say, if I went up on the moon, they were only up there for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
If I was up there, I'm not collecting rocks. That's so boring.
I would just want to like spring about and feel the lack
I'm
of
cracking
gravity.
one off in the soup.
Is it possible to get a boner in space, do you reckon?
Well, because the blood pressure's too low. Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe.
Or just because there's no like women around.
Nah, I understand you can get random boners at any point, but are you capable of ejaculation in space?
Well, when astronauts go to the International Space Station, they go for like 200 days, like
Yeah, I understand whenever they're in the thing, but I mean, like, obviously,
out and about.
yeah,
You can't get your hand over
yeah.
your knob, so there's nothing you can do.
Surely there would be very little speed and momentum being able to be built up.
Surely you can move. No, you can move quicker though, because the atmosphere is thinner.
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll have to ask her. Maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson can answer that. We'll have to ask some proper scientists at the North Atlantic Sperm Alliance. There was a case of a couple who went. They were astronauts, but they were a couple, and they were on the ISS together. Have to be. I would be so fuming about that,
Yeah.
because like I'm just trying. I'm already in space in a tiny little cramped aluminium box. Shit sleep, shit food. I'm having to eat that dehydrated shit every day. And I come around the corner and 2 people are just like clapping cheeks in the command room.
That would really put a dampener in the evening.
I'd be absolutely fuming. It's unacceptable.
I'd also be incredibly jealous because I imagine some of the positions you can do with no gravity is fucking mental.
Yeah, the Shagger special would be much easier, let's just say that.
I also don't imagine pulling the muscle would be as easy with no gravity.
No, you'd be very, very flexible, very limber.
Yeah.
Maybe I could finally touch my toes for once. I've never been able to do that. You know, I'm the least flexible man in the world.
Can you not touch your toes?
Not even close.
Let us see.
One is a big word. I finished last in the history of my school in the flexibility test that everyone has to do. I'm the least flexible person in the history of my school.
Since I started taking records?
Yeah.
Surely you can get further.
No, I'll take my jacket off because it is restricting me a little bit.
Yeah, undo a couple of buttons and surely you can reach it.
I promise you, I can't get much further than that. Right, here we go. I promise you, I can't get any further than that. Genuinely.
You can barely reach your knees.
Yeah, I'm serious. And people are like, just bend your back. It doesn't go that way. Honestly, I can't do any worse. When I did the test at school, they have a ruler. And if you touch your toes exactly, that's 0 points. Minus is backwards, and plus is if you can reach further. I got off the scale this way. So minus 30 was the furthest it went, and I was off that.
Jesus.
So I'm more than minus 30 centimeters away. Yeah, told you.
Thanks for proving it.
See, I'm not a fraud.
You can really see you like sort of straining yourself to try as
I
well.
was trying. I have to say, yeah, it's not one of my strong points, and that's certainly exemplified in the bedroom. So we'd have to go to zero gravity and see if anything changes. But going back to just this breaking news, which is so surprising to me, and I've never heard of it before. The footage looks a bit suspicious to me.
It is absolutely 100% fake.
Do you think?
Yeah, this never happened.
Yeah. I think it's a bit convenient. Also, how do you get the massive camera up there?
Yeah.
As well.
Also, the fact that they planted a flag. Why is the flag blowing if there's no
Why
wind?
is the flag blowing if there's no wind? Also, it's clearly on a soundstage in Hollywood. I've heard Stanley Kubrick.
He was behind it.
He's directed it, yeah.
It does look reminiscent of his early work.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely an artistic step back for him, but
Yeah.
still, I
Cash grab.
should be up for an Oscar, I reckon. Because it's quite a moving piece of media. Anyway, that's all from the moon landing. Now, this is where there would usually be a musical serenade, but because of copyright problems, there's nothing we can do. We have to keep those separate from our episodes now. So it is on YouTube. There is always a parody every week. They are on YouTube, but it is a separate video. You can check that out. Thursdays at 6 p.m. is when those come out. So make sure to watch that as well. Apart from that, thank you all for listening. We're trying to smash 15,000 subscribers. So if you can make that happen, that would give me a sort of fizzing sensation at the back of my penis. And back to you in the studio.